Good morning, children. How are you all? Hope you are doing well. Did you study the poem? Most probably you may have studied. Okay. Today I am going to teach a new lesson, An Uncomfortable Bed by Guy de Maupassant. Before getting into the class, let's see something interesting. Let me ask you something. Have you played practical jokes on others? Wait, you may ask a question. What are practical jokes? Practical jokes means jokes which are tricks played on someone in order to make them look foolish and to amuse others. Most probably, you may have noticed these kind of jokes in comedy shows. Okay, children, now look at this video so you can understand more about practical jokes. Now get to the point. Have you played practical jokes on others? If you take me, yes, I have done a lot. If you got stuck in a situation like this, how will you handle it? If you take me, it depends on the situation. Sometimes I feel happy and sometimes annoyed. In this lesson, Uncomfortable Bed, where the narrator Guy de Maupassant got stuck in a situation like this. Now let's see about the author. Guy de Maupassant. Children, be careful with the pronunciation. He was a French writer best known for his short stories. He wrote around 300 short stories along with a few novels and travel books. The Necklace and An Uncomfortable Bed are some of the most famous stories. Now, let me give a brief introduction about An Uncomfortable Bed. It is a short story written in 1883. It was set at a chateau in the French countryside. You must be wondering what a chateau is. Chateau is a large French country house. In those days, dinner parties were more extravagant. There were big furnished rooms with fireplaces. Beds often had heavy curtains. Hunting was common in those days. People dressed up in red and took hunting dogs with them. Humor plays a very vital role in this story. Humor is an integral part of Maupassant and Uncomfortable Bed. The story opens on a chateau in Picardy, which is in France. Okay, children, now I am going to tell the short version of this story. One autumn, the narrator went to spend a few days with some friends in Picardy. His friends were fond of practical jokes. When he arrived, they gave him a grand reception, which at once made him rather suspicious. During dinner, the mirth was excessive, exaggerated. He could almost smell a practical joke in the air. But what was it? The narrator was watchful, restless. The hour struck for going to bed. He entered his room, shut the door, and remained standing. He cast a glance around, but he saw nothing to justify suspicion. The bed however, was particularly suspicious looking. The narrator suddenly thought a precaution, and he caught hold of the side of the mattress and drew it toward him. It came away with the sheet and the rest of the bedclothes. He dragged he dragged all these into the middle of the room, facing the door. The narrator made his bed on the floor and slipped under the bedclothes. He must have been in a deep sleep for a long time. All of a sudden, he was awakened by a heavy body tumbling right on top of him. His neck and his chest a burning liquid, which made him howl of pain. The weight that had fallen upon him was crushing him. In shock, he rushed into the corridor in his nightshirt. The noise brought his friends hurrying to the spot. As the narrator looked into the room with them, he found lying on his improvised bed a dismayed valet while bringing him his morning cup of tea. He had tripped over the unexpected bed in the middle of the floor and fallen on him, spilling his breakfast over his face. The very precaution the narrator had taken brought about the practical joke, which he had been trying to avoid. Okay, students, let's see the meaning of every para. One autumn, I went to spend a few days with some friends in Picardy. Okay, here I refers to the narrator. He went to spend his autumn holidays with his friends in Picardy. Picardy is a place located in the northern part of France. My friends were fond of practical jokes. I do not care to know people who are not. The narrator's friends loves having practical jokes, and as much as he knows, each and every friends of him literally loves having practical jokes. When I arrived, they gave me a grand reception, which at once made me rather suspicious. They cheered loudly, embraced me, and made much of me, as if they expected to have great fun at my expense. Arrived at that event, his friends welcomed him with a grand reception, which made the narrator suspicious. They cheered him loudly and gave a lot of attention to him. Here we have a phrase, made much of me, which means give a lot of attention towards someone. The narrator felt that his friends target him for their jokes. Here we have another phrase, at my expense, which means as the target of joke. I said to myself, look out, old ferret, they have something in store for you. Here the narrator is talking to himself saying, be careful, old ferret. They are planning something in order to make you fool. Here we have a word ferret, which means a small cat-like animal which hunts rabbits by entering their burrows and driving them out. During the dinner, the mirth was excessive. I thought, here are people who are really amused, too amused. There does not seem to be any reason for so much mirth. They must have planned some good joke. Surely I am to be the victim of the joke. Attention. So now came the dinner time. The narrator found that his friends were laughing so hard at him. But there is no reason to laugh and excite at that situation. The narrator realized that he is the victim of joke. Here we have a phrase, victim of the joke, which means the person whom the others play a joke or everyone laugh in an exaggerated fashion, just as a dog can smell whatever it is hunting. I could almost smell a practical joke in the air. But what was it? I was watchful, restless. I did not miss a single word or a meaning or a gesture. Everyone seemed to be a suspect, and I even looked distrustfully at the faces of the other guests. The narrator saw everyone laughing in an unusual way. Here we have a word exaggerated, which means unusual and not necessary. The narrator did not even leave a single word, meaning, and gesture of his friends. He noticed everything. He looks distrustfully, which means do not believe or trust someone. The hour struck for going to bed. The whole household came to accompany me to my room. Why? They called to me, good night. Finally, it was bedtime. All his friends accompanied him to his room and said good night. The narrator felt even suspicious. I entered my room, shut the door, and remained standing without moving a single step, holding the candle in my hand. I heard people laughing and whispering in the corridor. Without doubt, they were spying on me. I cast a glance around the walls, the furniture, the ceiling, the hangings, and the floor. I saw nothing to justify suspicion. I heard persons moving about outside my door. I had no doubt they were looking through the keyhole. The narrator went to his room, shut the door, and was standing still without taking a single step. He was holding the candle too. He heard his friends laughing and whispering in the corridor. The narrator cast a glance, which means took a quick look all around the room. There were walls, furniture, ceiling, and hangings. Hanging means curtains or other objects hang on walls for decoration. But he found nothing to be abnormal. Everything was quite normal in that room. He found that his friends were spying on him through the keyhole. An idea came into my head. My candle may suddenly go out and leave me in darkness. Suddenly, the narrator got an idea to light up all the candles in his room so that he could see everything clearly. So, as he did that, he was sure that nothing was to be worried about the room. Okay, children, that's all for today. The remaining story will be taught in upcoming class. Thank you, children.